decentralized. It's crypto paradise. Ooh. No banks, no fees, no more 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Crypto is on the rise, making that dough in the crypto paradise.
What's up, DGens, friends, families, traders, hodlers, and general crypto peeps around the world. It has been one hell of a week. We're back with the weekly market update. A little bit late. We apologize for that. Ran into a few holiday and just general work difficulties today. Happy Thanksgiving to all those in the U.S. and Canada, although I think Canada's Thanksgiving is a week or two before ours. Anyways, a lot's been going on this week. We've got Cramer crashing Bitcoin. We've got Pumpfun scandals galore. We've got Pulse Chain news to talk about. We've got launches of new major L1s, U.S. court rulings on Tornado Cash. It's a lot. There's a lot going on in the markets. Let's get right into it. Joining me once again, as always, is the Crypto Hitman. What's going on, buddy? How we doing this week?
What's going on? Doing well. Obviously, everybody panicking because of the Bitcoin crash, but we're only down, 7%, and we're bouncing here. We're seeing large caps bounce across the board. And we'll talk more about Tornado Cash and what sector is doing well, and that's the privacy coins that are rallying 10, 15, 25% each. So let's dive right into this, whatever the first topic is, and we'll give you our opinions of it. And hopefully that opinion can help you find success and make some money.
Absolutely. Well, kicking things off here, last week, we just got started talking about this and we ran out of time. A lot of you are probably familiar with this now. Infamous, is he a 10 or a 12-year-old who live streamed rugging.
Are we bonded yet or what's good?
For about $30,000 last week. This kicked off a cascade of just nightmare fuel on Pump.Fun. We went on to see,
this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Are you new? Are you new to the trenches?
Jumpsuit too. Walk around this bitch like mega man. Nigga free tight cake. Go blood, nigga.
So more or less over the last week or so, Pump.Fun has become a weird mix of something between OnlyFans, Reddit's worst nightmare, the Pain Olympics, and just straight criminal activity. It has been a wild ride. Craze here kind of summed it up. Criminal acts, suicide threats, rape, child abuse, animal abuse, sexual nudity, bestiality, and the list goes on and on. You can see some of the craziness that's going on there. Now, in terms of some of these like more ludicrous things like rape, murder, threatening to kill people, stuff like that. How much of that was not just an act to try and shill a token? I don't know. I haven't heard of any reports of any actual criminal charges being filed in these instances. But point being, there was people pointing guns at other people. There was, like we said, bestiality and all sorts of weird stuff. There was OnlyFans type streams going on with these tokens. It got out of control real fast, real quick, leading to them actually shutting down live streams on Pump.Fun. I think this is as of yesterday. They officially have now banned live streams on Pump.Fun. Kind of going back to the old, we gave them too much freedom.
I think we gave people too much freedom.
I don't know what the solution is, Nick. How do we allow these decentralized tools to exist and people to make money? Level the playing field without it devolving into this.
There's a couple things there. I think it shows the degeneracy of society really right now and the perversiveness. So that's unfortunate. But I will say, out of all of those weird things going on, not many of them succeeded at all. They all got stuck before bonding curve. Very few of them actually ran. The one that ran well was when the kid scammed it out for $20,000, flipped everybody off, said he did it. Then they pumped it when he owned no tokens. So that's more of a troll against him. I don't know what you can do to stop it. Obviously, they turn live streaming off, but this is part of the market. Unfortunately, it's not really a part of the market that I dabble in too often myself. We're going for memes that actually maybe have a team or a roadmap or an idea versus these Pump.Fun. But that industry is bringing in a ton of fees into Pump.Fun. Now, hopefully Pump.Fun puts back some of that back into crypto. And maybe there'll be some follow-up platforms that will launch to kind of replicate and build on what Pump.Fun has done with the intention of making things a little better, making things a little more rug-proof, and maybe bringing some of that treasury funds back into the crypto market, whether that's Bitcoin buys, Ethereum buys, Solana buys, whatever it may be. Pump.Fun has made a huge amount of money, but as of I know, all of that is going pretty much into the pockets of the developers there. Hopefully they're investing in crypto. That's all I can say. Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy part of the sector. I'm happy that not many of them actually pumped. And if people are dumb enough to do that stuff live on camera, well, I think the Fed or their local police force has an easy case against them, especially the one who did like a 24-hour crime spree. Well, you know he's going to go to jail for that because it's all recorded live on Pump.Fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't fix stupidity.
No, you can't. And that's going to happen, regardless. When this was kind of the major topic on CT the last 2 days, and there's a lot of different theories of how to, and ideas around how to stop it. And most people, the consensus was agreed, like, well, if Pump.Fun bans this, they're just going to move somewhere else. But I think at the end of the day, you're right. It's the lowest common denominator of people that are interested in that kind of stuff. I mean, ourselves, I don't think too many of the Crypto Paradise fans are going on Murder Rape Coin on Pump.Fun or whatever the other crazy shit that people were doing to get attention out there. But yeah, it's kind of sad to see that's what society's has gotten to. But I've been heading that way in a long direction. If people think they can make a quick buck, then they're gonna.
We'll see how that sector progresses here over the next couple months. And they made movies about this kind of stuff. There's that one movie where they're like live streaming and you're tipping people to do things in real time. I mean, yeah. So it's kind of sad that's all coming to reality, but it is what it is. When money's involved, people will do anything, it seems. I mean, OnlyFans has exploded in value. They're bringing in massive retail, and girls and men and whoever are willing to exploit themselves for that quick cash. People want to live, so it is what it is. They can do what they want. Not something I'll partake in, but hey, no publicity is bad publicity, and that's meme coins, which is in the crypto sector, right?
I'll post feet pics all day if that's what the people want to see, but... Other than that, I'm gonna stick to the meme game and to the crypto game. So yeah, been an interesting week. Pump.Fun went, it's still one of the most talked about apps. It's probably, I gotta imagine, it's the most profitable app in crypto this year. I mean,
I saw something like 300. Yeah, I saw something like 350 million days or $350 million since launch, which was in March or April or something crazy like that.
Yeah. I mean, outside of like the fees generated from, Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are, being sent out to the miners and the validators, et cetera, maybe like a Uniswap or I don't know what other platform is generating that kind of revenue, more than $1 million a day, they were saying at its peak here. I'm interested to see how much that comes down now after this kind of, shock and awe campaign that happened last week, turning off live streams. I don't know how much it's going to hurt them. A lot of people saying it's the end of Pump.Fun. I don't believe that at all. I think it definitely opens a door, though, for people like DexQuark, who we've talked about many times on this channel. And we have some new partners that are coming up. Some of these other, Pumpfun killer apps that are trying to get some of that market share. We put out a video today that came out about some of our top meme coin picks and meme coin infrastructure. If DexQuark can get 1% of the market share from Pump.Fun, they're making close to $4 million a year, right? Pump.Fun's downfall, if it is that, or if even it's just a hitch in the business, they lose a little bit of market share. Gonna bring in some other creative minds into the space. Hopefully, DexQuark is one of those that's going to benefit from that.
Yeah, and that'd be that QRK token. We've talked to them, been talking to them since sub 100,000 mark, up to 1.6. I think it's sitting around 300 or 400,000 now. Their user growth continues. They got the volume bot out. They got the bump bot out. And like I said, if you get 1% of a depreciated Pump.Fun, that could be 10, 20, 30,000 a day in revenue. And a large percentage of that is used for token buybacks and burns and LP ads. So, I mean, it's a small cap still, but they're utilizing the APIs of Pump.Fun. And I expect exciting things and some fillers in that sector. So we're going to be looking out for it, whether that's DexQuark or something new. We're going to try to find that for you guys.
Yeah, so. We're starting to see some of the talk about the meme meta overall. I mean, as you can see, Pump.Fun is still launching tokens left and right. It has certainly not been the death of Pump.Fun. If we go over to Dex Screener here, I mean, you're seeing all the same kind of stuff. Just a chill guy. Consent to view this coin. FOMO Radio AI. Got the AI tokens going there. Jizmoon, like all the typical stuff you expect to see. The bully token. So, I mean, memes are far from dead. We got into this just a little bit the other day. I think this is kind of an interesting kind of perspective at the larger picture of what memes are and what they're gonna be. I don't really, I said this on one of the streams the other day. I don't see memes going away. Yeah, obviously things are going to slow down in the bear market. Your blue chips, the Pepes, the Doges, the Flokies and stuff. In my opinion, those are basically blue chip altcoins at this point. I mean, obviously they're a meme. They're in the meme sector, but they're more of an altcoin, like a DeFi altcoin or any other sector of an altcoin. They're just that big now. Obviously, all that's going to be affected when we have this pullback whenever the bull market ends. But people aren't going to stop launching new meme coins, right? Like, we're not going to stop having cultural events that people make memes about. And now that the cat's out of the box and people can take any trend that pops. I mean, it's really within minutes of a news story breaking. There's 5 memes up on Pumpfun or one of their competitors about whatever that happens to be. So I think it's a really interesting new dynamic that we're going to see. Is it just going to be shit memes like we saw the last week that, rug after rug after rug and no one really actually makes any real money? Or is it going to turn into an actual cottage industry, niche industry that kind of encapsulates the culture a bit like NFTs used to, that, the ethos of pop culture isn't going to stop during the bear market? Why would memes?
Yeah, I don't really see them going away, especially with Elon Musk getting in Doge for the U.S. government here in a month, and you're seeing memes have success. Plus, you see some big, large cap memes tacking on utility. Shib has the Shibiverse. Floki has their metaverse that's about to launch, and they have a Floki trading bot and buybacks and burns. On Pulse Chain, you're seeing memes with utility and liquidity bonding and using Hart's Law. So it's ever expanding. Is there still going to be garbage pump and dumps? Yes, but that's been happening since the ICO boom in 2016 and 2017. So that's nothing new. We just got to find the good ones, and we've brought you some good ones. Whiskey, we brought you around 100,000 or 200,000 market cap. It's now at new all-time highs, 2 million. Dubcat, we brought you at 300K. It's now at 4 million. Dex Quark, we brought you at less than 100K. It's now at 400,000. Mellow Man, 300K. It's now at, I think, 3.5 or 4.5 million. So you just got to find the ones that are going to continue to work, the ones that are going to continue to produce new memes, make people laugh, but also looking to utility, looking to listings and token updates and everything else. Trumpy's another one. We're up 400% on that one, and that's tapping into the Politify and the Trump ecosystem. So I think memes don't die. Even if utility season comes back, that is when the tide will raise all boats, and memes will still have an outlier of liquidity and value in them as well.
Speaking about memes on different chains, a lot of different chains being talked about this week. I think Sui is a big contender that people are talking about right now. People are talking about a lot of interest coming back to Base. But Pulse Chain is one that you've been talking about forever. We've got some new memes that we've been talking about on Crypto Paradise. Got a tweet up here that you posted earlier today about Enki and Alien. Tell us a bit more about Pulse Chain. I'm not super familiar with Pulse Chain. I know, high level 30,000 foot view. But tell me a bit about what's going on there, especially with the...
Yeah, so Pulse Chain launched about 2 years ago, and it's got a lot of hate because Richard Hart is the one who launched it. You either love him or you hate him. Some people think he was a scammer, but I'm telling you that he's not. I've been right on this so far. Pulse Chain has had a lot of success. And with that, we've talked about PTGC, which is using liquidity bonding and kind of pegging itself to all the blue chips of Pulse Chain. And it is absolutely ripped. I think we're up about 4,000 to 5,000% since we brought it on Crypto Paradise. Well, now that ecosystem is expanding. And right now, all the rage with Pulse Chain is talking about PDI eventually pegging to $1, or the wrapped Pulse Chain Bitcoin pegging to the Bitcoin price, or the Atropa speculation. So there's a lot of speculation going on over on Pulse Chain. And how do you take advantage of that? Well, Enki here, the one that we're talking about now, simply for holding it, the volume generates buybacks and burns of all those speculation tokens. So you start earning PDI, you earn wrapped Bitcoin, you earn the #1 meme coin on Pulse Chain, you earn Atropa, and you get everything in there. And if the speculation is right and those prices absolutely surge, you have now hedged yourself. You protected yourself from having to buy those assets individually because you own Enki here, which is going up. And now you have in your wallet 4 other tokens plus the Enki. So that is kind of how these liquidity webs work. That's how these tax tokens are working on Pulse Chain. A lot of the assets that I'm in are simply tax tokens. It's PTGC, it's UFO, it's Alien, and it's Enki. They're all kind of under the same mothership. They all have the same alien theme. And by simply holding them, you earn payouts from the buybacks and burns. All of them are deflationary as well. The more volume on these assets, the more they buy of themselves off the open market, the more they burn of themselves, and the more they add to a locked liquidity pool. So that is kind of what is going on over in Pulse Chain and why the prices are surging. Because as people are onboarding into Pulse Chain, more volume is happening, and that is creating more buybacks, more burns, and more LP ads. And what happens when that happens? Price goes up and to the right. It's really as simple as that. The nice thing about these is they're not really meme coins, but they kind of have that memeable outlook. They're all related to aliens and UFOs and outer space, which is another hot topic. I mean, Joe Rogan was just asking Trump about that on his podcast. So I think we're going to have a bunch of videos, standalone videos, explaining more in depth about Enki in particular, how that ties to alien and UFO and PTGC. And we'll even have an onboarding process, because a lot of people haven't got involved with Pulse Chain like yourself because you don't know how easy it is. Essentially, Pulse Chain is an added EVM compatible chain in MetaMask, just like BSC, Polygon, or anything else. You go on there, you add Pulse Chain, you bridge ETH over to Pulse Chain, and you trade on a DEX just like Uniswap. Boom, you're in the ecosystem, you're done. So we'll have some standalone videos on that, and I'm excited for the hype that's coming over to Pulse Chain. Obviously, I'm in it early. Hopefully some of you guys have got involved in Pulse Chain as well. And if you do, really, I think Enki should be at the top of your list as your first portfolio ad. Simply buy it, hold it, start reaping the rewards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I happy to admit I'm a dilettante when it comes to most of these L2s and side chains, or L1s that are launched. There's been so many of them, it's hard to keep track of them all. But you've been a big supporter. You've been talking about Hex and Pulse Chain for years now. This is pretty cool stuff here, man. Looking at just the homepage of the Enki, or I guess it's the Pulse Chain alien.tech/Enki, on maybe a sub page of their page. But we've got total market cap 1.7 million, liquidity of 218,000, really good liquidity ratio there. But what's super impressive, with the market cap of 1.7 million, they've now rewarded, it looks like, this is like 23.5, another 10K. It's like almost, it's like $35,000 in rewards have been paid out. And this is at a less than a $2 million market cap token. Like that's pretty legit. And you're getting paid out.
You also can see they've already burned over 6% of their total supply. So the total supply is already in circulation. There's no more dilution, and there's actually deflationary mechanisms because a percentage of the volume that occurs that is generating tax fees is being used to buy back and burn its own token. So that's what's pretty impressive. This thing is not very old, already burned over 6% of its supply, paid out 30,000 in rewards to holders in various tokens. And those are the tokens right now on Pulse Chain that are hyped. If you guys don't know about PDAI and Wrap Bitcoin and the pegging is what they're talking about, do a little research. If that pegging occurs, that $30,000 in reward is going to be worth $300,000 or $3 million in rewards, just because those assets are going to go up as well.
Yeah, just the PDAI would be close to $672,000 if that gets pegged to $1. And the Bitcoin, it's sitting at 23K total. Well, there's 13.6 potential Bitcoin in there. So let's just call that, 1.4 million almost. I mean, that, so you're talking about jumping from 35K to well over $2 million in rewards going out. So very, very cool concept. Another contender in kind of the meme game stuff. And one, I think from kind of seeing taking a national look at it, looking at their community, we've been talking with one of the guys at Enki and kind of getting a little more familiar with the Pulse Chain people. I know that the Richard Hart fans are diehard fans. They're a bit like the Cardano people, except I think that Pulse Chain's actually been building some shit. So exciting stuff. I know we're seeing.
Yeah. I was just going to say, some of them are diehard fans. I'm not a super diehard. I didn't really get involved in Hex before its 10,000X run, but I got involved in day one sacrifice rate for Pulse Chain and Pulse X because you got to open your mind up. You got to stop it. Like the people that were calling Richard Hart scammers, it was a lot of Bitcoin maxis. That's like how I felt watching mainstream media this year leading into the election. Like they just are uninformed, or they're so emotional that they're just not reading between the lines, taking a step back and realizing what's going on. Richard Hart produced a 10,000X. His wallets are doxed. He hasn't sold a single token of Hex. He pre-produced Pulse Chain, which is a copy of Ethereum. It's had a 100% flawless uptime with cheaper transaction fees. He's produced Hart's Law, which is the understanding of how LP pools work within indexes and why everything moves together in synchrony due to LP bonding. And now we're seeing projects taking everything he's taught them over the past 2 years and producing massive multiples. Like I said, we are up 4,000 or 5,000% on PTGC. UFO is ripping, Enki is ripping, Alien is ripping, all while becoming deflationary assets and paying out massive rewards to the believers and the holders. Richard Hart is about to win his case against the SEC. SEC is dropping cases left and right. Well, guess what? Within 45 days, they have to give a ruling on Richard Hart. If he wins the case, hint, he will. then Pulse Chain is going to absolutely explode off the speculation, but also that frees up Richard Hart to start coming back. He hasn't done a live stream in years. He hasn't been very relevant on Twitter. He posts here and there about if Hex is up 20% of the day, and guess what else he posts? Every time SEC loses to a crypto project, he posts it. That's it. He has 11 lawyers that are telling him to shut up. You can post this, you can post that. That's it. Once the name gets free and clear, the speculation of the chain explodes. Once people realize how easy onboarding is, maybe through Crypto Paradise, the amount of TVL explodes. I want you guys to go look at DeFi Llama or some of these. Pulse Chain is now up to like the number 3 network. Not many people we know use Pulse Chain. It has the number 3 TVL in the entire crypto ecosystem. If this goes mainstream, if the floodgates open, then I think you're in super early on Pulse Chain, and not anybody is talking about it. And that's when you can make massive gains in this ecosystem. If the opportunity is staring you in the face, you just got to take it. You got to read between the lines. Richard Hart has an ego problem. He wants to win, and he wants to laugh at all the haters that didn't believe in him. And I think he's going to make it happen this bull market. And he's already making it happen off the lows here.
We'll mark that down, Crypto Paradise fans. That is another Nickstradamus official alpha leak right there. We will have to do some more updates and educate you guys a little more on what's going on in the Pulse Chain ecosystem. But definitely going to be talking more about Enki and what's going on there. So mark it down, November 27th, 2024. You got the alpha right here first. We'll be back with some updates on how many multiples off this call we get. But I hope you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, Telegram community, get in there. The YouTube channel, hit the notification button. Twitter is our biggest platform. That's where we're most active. Definitely get on there. That's where you're going to find next week the official drop of the Crypto Paradise mini app. We're going to have tens of thousands of dollars worth of prizes for you guys to win in there. You're going to want to be the first one to get in there. Start racking up the Crypto Paradise tokens so you can cash those in for cash, crypto, whitelist spots, NFTs, Bitcoin, you name it. So the best way to find out about that, go and subscribe, turn on notifications on the X, on Twitter, and we'll have more about that next week. All right, moving on from some of the meme stuff here, guys. Big announcement. Privacy wins today. The Fifth Circuit in the U.S., the Treasury's sanction against Tornado Cash has been ruled unlawful. They cannot consider smart contracts. They cannot put sanctions on decentralized smart contracts. This happened, I think, back in like March or April this year. They actually went and they arrested the developers, Alexei Pertasev in Holland. He's been in jail since then. He got a 64-month sentence for money laundering for writing these contracts. Now, going to be very interesting to see how this affects his prison sentence, but overall, extremely bullish for crypto, for decentralization. This is essentially courts coming in and saying that, technology cannot be, decentralized technology like this, cannot be held responsible. The people that build it cannot be held responsible for what people do with that technology, right? Securing our freedoms of privacy on chain and decentralization. So absolutely massive win. Nick, what do you see kind of coming forward out of this?
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of a parlay from what we were just talking about. Richard Hart posted about this. That's how I saw it first. I think it's another big win, another dropped case. And we're seeing some OG privacy coins doing extremely well. ZEC, Zcash, up 15%. Zen, ZEN, up 25%. That has optional privacy features on there. And I'm sure there's some other smaller ones that I'm not quite aware of. Privacy sector isn't something that we really have hammered on during the cycle because of all these regulatory overreaches that have really put downward pressure on those charts. Now that some of that is gone, I think maybe we start to see some privacy coins and some new privacy products available on the open market, which is always good to see. Also, I think with him being arrested and now this maybe being dropped in court, hopefully he gets out of prison and hopefully he takes that government for a run and takes a lot of money for that sentence that he's had to serve here if deemed innocent. I think this also bodes well for Free Ross movement, as yes, he created a similar product. Yes, there was drugs, whatever, but he essentially just created a decentralized website in which people could use Bitcoin for Silk Road. So I think he's going to get out of jail. Trump has already said he's going to do it. So I think this is a big win, not for crypto, but really for human rights and the rights to privacy and the rights to software development, kind of like the Pumpfun live streams. Like, do I think the Pumpfun people should be arrested? No, the people who are getting on there and degenerating, using the live stream for illegal manners, those are the people who should be getting arrested. They're the ones doing the illegal things. And the service provider is trying to take down things as fast as they can, but they created a decentralized platform. So that's how I look at it. I think it's a big win. And probably the Pumpfun people are also pretty happy about this too, because that kind of, in case they get in trouble, it's like, hey, we just built a platform. We try to remove people the best we can, just like a YouTube, but things slip through the cracks.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Couldn't agree with that more. You're not responsible for what someone does with the decentralized tech that you build. That's just asinine. Yeah, looking at some of the privacy coins up big today. OXO up 60% today. Cloak token up 50%. Celius 41, another 41, 35. Zcash, they're up almost 30% on the day. So yeah,
Jeez, I'm moving.
Privacy coins responding very, very well to that news there. And again, big win for crypto and like you said, privacy for individual privacy as a whole. So what else do we got? Jim Cramer strikes again.
The funny thing is he created the pump that we just saw, because near the lows he said, no, don't own Bitcoin or MicroStrategy, and now he's creating this top. So I'll let you take it away. I actually had a tweet when he was talking when it was like 69, 70,000. I said, inverse Cramer. Cramer says that Trump's going to lose election, so that means Trump's going to win. Bitcoin's going to go to $100,000 by the end of the year. And look, we've already on at 99, and we still got a month to go. So go ahead, Nate, take it away.
Well, I mean, speaking of your call, you've been calling 100K Bitcoin for the end of this year for a long time now. I think we can say 99,550. 99
counts,
that's 100K, right?
If you're on Coinbase, not using the advanced feature, you're a noob. It was 100,000 when you bought it with fees. All right, so there we go.
But there'll still be people in your comments, I'm sure. No, you called 100K. It only went to 99,500.
Funny thing is, even some of my buddies, when we're sitting down, in the high 50s, 60,000 right before the election, whatever, they're like, man, we're gonna need some massive green candles to get that 100K in Bitcoin. I'm like, you guys haven't been to Bitcoin very long. Thing can move rapidly, and also people get caught up in the dollar figure. You got to start looking at the percentage figure. Like everybody's talking about this massive crash that just happened in Bitcoin. It's like we're down like 5%, guys.
Yeah,
that's like nothing for crypto. So when Bitcoin was at 60,000, 70,000, it's like, okay, we got to go up 40% in 3 months. That ain't very much in crypto, and we've done it rapidly. But go ahead and talk about Cramer here.
We did that.
And how does this guy still make money? This guy is still making a salary. This guy has a private group that is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and I've never seen him make a good call in his goddamn life. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the inverse Cramer index went from a meme to like one of the most well-trusted trading platforms that's in crypto Twitter today. The second he came out and endorsed Bitcoin at like 98 or 99,000, whatever it was, everyone was like just all over CT. No, fuck you, Jim Cramer. Why would you do this to us? And like clockwork, like with immediately starts tanking. Yeah, from 98 to under 90. I think we were around 99 and it went to 93 or something like that. But it's just, I mean, who knows? Obviously, the guy, I've seen articles where they show he makes lots of good calls as well. We're a bit, confirmation bias on crypto Twitter. No one's gonna, tweet out.
Yeah, his good calls, I think his thing is quote unquote good calls. Because when I used to work in traditional finance, when I would get off work, I would go home, I would eat my dinner, and I would put him on because he'd be on, right around 5 p.m. my time or whatever, and I could watch it. And his thing is, he brings a lot of good people on that end up being big successes, or kind of half endorses them, and he does well over the long term. Like he had T-Mobile on, and now it's done well over the past 5 years since I've watched that episode. But his macro and micro timing is like laughably off.
Yeah.
He would be the crypto trader. He'd be like Michael Saylor before this last run. Like, yeah, he's buying every top, but he has conviction. He'll be right eventually. And then Bitcoin goes to 100K. And it's like, well, look, my average, I bought some at 69,000 the last top, but we're up to 100. Like, he won. He's right. If you did DCA, you're going to be okay. But if you're taking his trades in real time, trying to do micro day trading or swing trading, his timing is atrocious. And he probably should do the inverse Cramer, and he'd make a lot of money. It's like self-fulfilling prophecy with him. The timing that we've seen in the crypto industry, at least, because it's thinner order books. And I think people do see that and start to be like, well, inverse Cramer might be right again. Maybe I need to sell some Bitcoin or short some positions.
Yeah, broken Croc's right twice a day. I agree. You make 1,000 calls in a year, over the last 2 decades. Some of them are going to pan out for you. But yeah, within the last few years, it's been hilariously bad his timing with literally picking the Pico top to call something that it dumps, and the Pico bottom telling people to get out of it, and it rips to the upside.
Yeah, now supporting Bitcoin now is kind of laughable because here's the thing. Jim Cramer was early-ish to Bitcoin and Ethereum. He went on Pomp Show and bought it. He bought it before the last run, the last bull market run, and he sold it, not all the way up, but he sold some. But then he flipped his tune almost like Gary Gensler, like somebody's paying him to hate on it. Said, don't own anything. I sold it all. Get rid of your ETH. It's digital fake money, da-da-da. It's like, wait a second. You went on Pomp Show. You were all about it. Now you're kind of mad that you sold it early, and now it's going down to you're riding on this train of it's a scam. And then now you're going to say Bitcoin's a winner at 99,000 because what? There's Bitcoin ETFs and all the institutions are now supporting it. It's almost like Peter Schiff. You were so early to the opportunity. You started to see the light, and then for some reason you switched your tune, called it a scam at the worst opportune time, and now you want to get favorable because everybody's getting on board. It's just kind of odd. People have no conviction. They do a lot of flip-floppy, a lot of hypocrisy, and maybe that's because there's people in their wallet book and they need to keep making the salary. I don't know who's telling these people to say these things about it, but it's just kind of weird how somebody so smart and in the finance industry can do such big 180s and 360s on an industry. I don't understand.
Well, and for I get it. He's a personality. He's a TV personality. That's why he's had such a long run on TV. Is he's flamboyant. He's smashing stuff with bats and he's yelling and he's crying and stuff. What's the number one rule in trading, whether it's crypto or stocks? It's don't let your emotions rule your trades. It's all supposed to be logically based, statistically based by the numbers, and that's how you make money. Jim Cramer was bawling 6 months ago, crying about how Bitcoin was going up and how he felt so bad about it.
It makes no money. It makes no sense. It's a scam. Oh my God, Coinbase. What do you mean? They're not even making money. Oh, it's Coinbase went from $40 to $400. Congratulations, you missed out on a 10x in traditional finance.
Well, and I think that is a great, metaphor for a lot of what we see in our industry, in the KO industry, in Web3 as well. Anybody that is overly emotional, making out of this world claims, anybody that's using explicit language of the biggest, the first, the best, whether it's a KOL or a project that's pitching you, we're the fastest, biggest, first, no, you're not. I can probably find 10 other decks within an hour that are doing the same thing that you are and probably doing it bigger, better, and faster. So just got to be wary of anybody that's just overly emotional, overly flamboyant like that. What they're really selling or what they're marketing themselves, right? It's about the attention. Right. That's why
it's the entertainment.
Exactly.
And I was going to say, unfortunately, that's what gets the attention. Even in crypto, Chico Crypto, how he got huge? Chico Crypto got huge by calling CZ a scam and projecting fraud and trying to prove on-chain fraud and this, that, and the other. Well, guess what, Chico? BNB went from $9 to $800. Binance became the biggest exchange. CZ eventually, after 4 cycles of you saying he's a fraud and a scammer, went to jail for 6 months, and he's back free with nothing wrong with it. And Binance has BSC, 4 months. And BSC network is a top 3 network. But yet Chico Crypto has millions of followers. But if you listen to him, you missed out on some of the biggest opportunities of the last cycle, and those occurred on the BSC network. So it's people love the entertainment, the what if, the drama, the Real Housewives, but that is not what is going to make you money in finance. That is not what's going to make you consistent money in crypto or any industry. So yes, you can watch that for fun, but it's kind of just messed up that this ecosystem rewards that entertainment quality. Rewards it even though you're not making money doing it. And why are we all here in crypto? Financial freedom, decentralized finances, new utility, DeFi, banking in a new way. These are all things that you probably don't want to have too much entertainment or emotion on. You're trying to find wins, you're trying to stack passive income, and you're trying to build a brighter future. But that's just the way the human brain's wired, and I think that goes back to the Pumpfun live streams and the degeneracy over there. Everybody wants that quick hit of dopamine, and we need to dial it back. There's plenty of dopamine to go around when Bitcoin goes up 40% in a year. Absolutely.
It all comes full circle from Jim Cramer screaming and crying to people pretending to shoot their dogs on Pump.Fun. It's all goes back to the same elements. Don't let your emotions rule your trades. Don't let your emotions make you pick meme coins. Build a plan and stick with it.
Now, talking about emotions, we hit 99,000 on Bitcoin. We dropped to 91,000. We are bouncing here around 94, 95,000. There is an Elliott Wave roadmap in which we bounce here to 96,000. Maybe you're going to see FOMO on crypto Twitter. there is a possibility of a drop back to 88 to 91,000 before the next move higher to new all-time highs leading into December and January. So don't get overly emotional on this rally up here. Don't lever up because, oh, well, that's the dip. That's it. There is a chance that Bitcoin comes down one more time, creates that ABC correction on Elliott wave, gets to 88,000, 90,000, just something below that 91K, and then that's your last opportunity to buy up a dip before the move above 100,000 market cap. So just keep things and understand plus and minus 5% in Bitcoin is not that big. Keep it in context. Pick your trade entries. Don't go leverage during these uncertain market times. Just spot is enough. Spot holdings is enough. Accumulate the passive income, whether it's APR and staking on a Coinbase or DeFi APR, and we're all going to be big winners here over the next few months. Trump isn't in office yet.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something, especially new people to the market. And amazingly, it's like when every year when we get the first snow and back home, everybody forgets how to drive in the snow, and like everybody's crashing their cars. Everybody's going 5 miles an hour. It's like we do this every year. Like same thing in crypto. Like, do we need to do this every cycle that we forget? During the bull market, there's going to be 20, 30% pullbacks. Like that's perfectly normal. We saw a 5% pullback this week, and people are losing their minds, right? So I found it interesting. Rand Nooner from Crypto Banner and Miles Duchner, I can't pronounce his last name, some of the banner guys, going back and forth today a little bit. Rand started it off with his targets, saying, he's thinking it's going to go quite a bit lower, down a little bit past that 80,000 range. He says his bottom targets are, 77,800, which is a CME gap. If it breaks that to 73,000, which is the previous all-time high, he's calling for that within the next 3 weeks. Miles, who also a very, very smart dude in the crypto space. If you haven't followed him and seen some of his calls, really, really, really sharp guy. But lays out a more much more bullish case. Don't think we're going back into the 70s anytime soon. December historically Bitcoin's best month, especially in election or in election years. S&P 500 or the S&P 500. No month is more likely to be higher than December in any election year, 83.3%. Equity still making new highs. Trump inauguration January 20th. Lots of sideline capital still waiting for entry. So, regardless of what we do, it's going to be...
I'm not on the side of Rand Nooner going into 70s. I'm not. Like, I think there's an opportunity where maybe we get back into the 80s, get that one more panic out if people get too frothy here because there's some time. But Michael Saylor's raising another couple $2 billion. Like you said, the Trump election is coming. Historical data says, hey, we're going to be at Thanksgiving bragging about our gains, and our friends will be buying our bags. We're going to be at Christmas bragging about our gains, and our family will be buying our bags. And then, like you said, Trump getting in, you're going to see a lot of things about Bitcoin and everything going on there. So I am not in the case of back to 70s. Also, don't forget, FTX payouts haven't started yet. If you have a claim on FTX of 50,000 or less, you're supposed to be getting your funds back before December 31st. So those will all be small retail people. Where do you think they're going to put that money back into? Probably back into Bitcoin and crypto. And then if you're a bigger claim over January, February, and March of 2025, that's the remainder of the $16 billion that is going to be paid out in stable coins. So I just am not in that case. I think there's still a lot of sideline capital that's going to be flowing back into the market. We also see that miners like Riot and Mara, instead of selling their Bitcoin, they're raising capital to buy Bitcoin, get on the Bitcoin standard like MicroStrategy, trying to pump their stock up. So I think a bullish times ahead. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do have a flash crash. There could be a black swan event. We do know we're on the precipice of World War III. So a COVID, a bird flu, a black swan, okay, maybe Ryan Nooner gets right. But if you're looking at the macro and the TA and the history, then no. There could be a dip here, but I don't think we're in tune for the 20 to 30% dip just yet. I think that happens after the next FOMO blow off top. Maybe that's 110K, 115K. Then you really scare people when you go back below 100K again, and that's where you should be loading up those altcoin bags.
Well, I think it's time for one of us to go open a bid on Poly Markets. Rand says if it goes under 80K before mid-February, I win. If not, you win. So I think that's going to be on Poly Markets here if it's not already. Rand versus Miles betting.
You notice how Rand extended that timeline a little bit. He said December before, and now he's going all the way to February. It's like,
and he put the bar at 80K when his high end was 77, 8, and his low was 73. So we'll see.
Moving things around.
We'll see. I would actually be interesting to check Poly Markets and see if they if someone's picked up and launched that bet yet. I'm sure it could be one of the next big things. I mean, again, this is another interesting new meta within crypto. is all these betting, Polymarket and what's the other one? So the K, the betting apps. When all this stuff was going on last week with Pump.Fun, immediately there's a bid up. Will Pump.Fun be shut down before December 25th in the U.S.? And it was like 97% of people said yes. I imagine that's tanked a lot since they shut down the live stream, but
shut down the live stream, and then another Tornado Cash won their lawsuit.
Exactly.
With every lawsuit, it just opens up the regulatory paving for other people who are already being sued or other people who are on the radar. So anybody who took that 3% bet probably doing pretty well right now.
Just
Cash
another
out.
interesting way to make money with crypto. Well, we have covered all sorts of things. We've been around the globe, from Cramer crashes to Pump.Fun scandals and Tornado Cash, everything in between. It's been a wild week this week in crypto, and I'm expecting many more wild weeks ahead of us coming into the holidays. Make sure you've got your pitch for why Bitcoin, why your highest conviction play, why memes ready for the Thanksgiving table this weekend. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself and all of us sound like assholes again. So prepare, rehearse, practice. Make sure you can explain what decentralization is. Making sure you can explain how Bitcoin works and why it's a better replacement.
They're going to ask, what is Bitcoin? So just plan that. Because even me, when people ask that out of the blue, I get caught off guard, even though I've been doing this for like 8 years. Because it's like, in my head, I'm like, where do I start? Like, where do I start? Just go back to the basics. Actually type in, like, what is Bitcoin for beginners on Google, and just read that. And you'll be like, okay, makes sense. Just get back to the basics. That's what you need to explain people.
And you know what is actually a great option for this is one of our partners, our good friends over at Bitcoin Trading Cards. They have those starter packs, those 10 cards. That's exactly what those are meant for. Peel that open. It's got the Bitcoin card in there. It's got the decentralized, it's got all the basics, and it's like written to be entertaining but educational. Big shout out to the Bitcoin Trading Card guys. We're going to be getting them on here again, probably right after the first of the year. They are about to release a new run of packs, which they only do once or twice a year. So we can get that back on here and probably do another opening. I've got a bunch of packs still waiting for me from the last time we had them on, sitting at my family's house. When I go back home for Christmas, there'll be a little Christmas present for myself. I'm going to pop those open and have to send some off for grading, hopefully. Yeah, that's a great way. Check them out. You can get those 10 packs. The Genesis, they're a couple bucks a piece, and get them sent over in time for the holidays. It's a great way to help evangelize and educate people on what we're doing in this crazy world of magic internet monies.
Yep, and we do have a Spaces we'll be doing on Twitter here, I believe, next hour. That will be with Enki, focusing on Enki, but also talking about Pulse Chain, talking about the speculative plays like Bear, Wrap, Bitcoin, and PDI, Atropa that you can earn by holding Enki. So if this is your first intro into Pulse Chain, that is probably a Spaces you should tune in with. Why? Because we will have the founder of Enki and Alien on there. These are some of the pioneers in the liquidity bonding space over on Pulse Chain. Day one sacrificers. They're going to give you all the in-depth look into why they are speculating so heavily that Richard Hart is going to find success on Pulse Chain. PDI will peg. Wrap Bitcoin will have parity with real Bitcoin, and so much more.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Bybit, our channel sponsor. Up to $30,000 in bonuses when you go sign up with a Bybit account using our code. Link will be in the description, as well as on all of our social media. It's on our website. It's on our Telegram. It's on our Twitter page. You can find it anywhere. Awesome centralized exchange. So long as you're not in the US or you have a VPN, you can use it. And I would highly recommend that. It's a great spot for all types of trading, including your leveraged futures, perpetuals, all that fun stuff. So big shout out to Bybit. Thank you once again for sponsoring the Crypto Paradise channel. Big stuff coming next week. Make sure you're tuning in. We're going to be making announcements about the Crypto Paradise mini app. Again, tens of thousands of dollars just in the first month alone that we're going to be giving away in that app. Everything from stable coins to memes, infrastructure projects. There's going to be whitelist spots. There's going to be trading account giveaways. And you can get yourself registered for the Crypto Paradise bags, which is the granddaddy of them all. We're going to be giving that away probably sometime next summer in the middle of the bull run here. But that's going to start out. The bag itself will be worth probably somewhere between $30,000 and $50,000. Most of those tokens aren't launched yet. So when they hit the market, the bull market continues on. We're going to continue to add to that bag from every new client that we work with, every new partner that we work with on this channel throughout the entire bull market. We're going to get that thing built up to 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, maybe 500,000. We'll see how crazy this bull market gets. And we're going to be giving that all away to some lucky Crypto Paradise fam, some followers here. We're hoping to change some people's lives this bull run, not just with the content and the alpha that we provide, but with cold hard cash and crypto, baby. So make sure you're tuning in next week for that, and tell your friends, bring them along, because the more people you invite to the app, the bigger payouts you're going to get, and the bigger payouts are going to be in the app. So fun for everybody, fun for the whole fan. Well,
that's what it's all about.
all right, cool.
I think we can wrap up this live show. I'll take a little breather.
Absolutely.
And get ready for the spaces, because I'm gonna have to get my brain working to understand the liquidity web that's going on in Pulse Chain and the opportunity there. And Nate, I think you need to get over to Pulse Chain. That's what's crazy about crypto is like we work together, and I've been saying it, but it's like there's so much opportunity here, and everybody's trying to steal brain power time. That's why we at Crypto Paradise, we like to work with projects for a long term, because people don't act right away. We need to teach you. We need to inspire you. We need to walk you through the steps to start getting the Crypto Paradise portfolio going and start winning here in the crypto market.
I've been too busy watching devs take shits and shave their heads on Pump.Fun. I gotta get my act together and get back in the game here. So thankfully they cancel the live streams. I'll have to readjust my focus. But anyways, everybody who's watched to this point, we thank you so much for sticking along. I think we're like almost an hour into this one. Long one today. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you got some new alpha. Come back in a few minutes if you're free. It's an audio space coming up. You can throw your headphones in during work. We're going to be covering a huge opportunity with Enki Coin. It's a meme-ish plus utility plus revenue paying and shares paying in multiple different other tokens on a super hot ecosystem, Pulse Chain. I'm sure you'll get to learn all about that, as well as the Enki token. Talking to the founders coming up very, very soon. So take a break, go hit the head, grab yourself a glass of water, get back in your desk, and get back on the Crypto Paradise Twitter page for a space coming up soon. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, guys. We couldn't do this without you guys. Stay safe out there. If it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. I said that backwards. Whatever. Wag me, baby. We'll see you next time.